Welcome to painting a Santa sign with April. Some supplies you're going to need is a sharp tool to get off your stencil, makeup sponges, red, white, black, yellow, blue, skin tone, and brown. And you can use Posca pens, they work great for the eyes. First, I sketched mine with one of the white Posca pens and just do a rough line that goes straight across down the center of my board. And then you go about 1.5 inches lower and you do just a wiggle line all the way across. That is going to be your hat bottom for Santa. Then do a line about 1.5 inches in that's only about 2 inches long on each side. It's the side of the face. Do a slight arc like a C shape on each side to do the cheeks. Then you're going to find the center of your board. And I just do 2 C's back to back to start it. That's the center of the mustache. Then I just make these carrot shape looking things. Make it simple to finish the mustache all the way to the edge of the board. Next, you're going to do the lips. I keep saying C's because it's simple to do a C and we all know how to do a C, so, or a U. Just do a U shape, 2 of them right next to each other. Bam, lips are done. Now, go to about the cheekbone and just do an arc down for the top of the beard, and then go down far enough where you want your beard to go and make a V shape to make your beard. Bam, you're done. Now we're gonna do the top of the hat. Go to the left edge, round up a line a little bit, go halfway in and curl it back like a hook shape. Then you're gonna draw a circle for the bell. And then about 1 inch up from where the top of the hat line was, you go out to the edge, and circle in and back to the edge of your hat. There's your hat shape. To draw the eyes, go about 2 inches in and do a diagonal line down towards the cheekbone on each side. Then you're going to do a U to connect each edge of those lines to make the shape of your eye. You can sketch in the nose if you want at this point, but you really don't need to because we paint over it, but it just shows you where the lines are going to go later when you finish the nose at the end. Now just draw 2 circles to represent the buttons for Santa, and then you're going to draw lines from below his beard alongside the buttons to act like the center of the coat. And that is the last of the sketching in Santa. I'm going to show you a picture of what it should look like top to bottom. And there you have it. Now you're going to start by painting in the white areas. The mustache is on both sides, the side of the head and the side of the beard, as well as the full beard. You're going to block in the white colors, and you're going to paint both the buttons white and the bell at the top white. So this is going to be fast, but take your time, pause the video, and just paint away until all the white areas are pretty much solid. I'm having you paint the bell at the top white and the 2 buttons white, but later they're going to be yellow. Yellow is really hard to keep solid, so the white helps it make a very good base. Next, we're going to paint the red area, so clean out your brush and make sure there's no white left in it. And you're going to paint around the buttons on the vest on the bottom and at the top triangle above the band for the hat. Fill in this area till you can no longer see the wood through. You don't have to worry about the highlights just yet in the shadowing, just make sure you have it solid red.
So I bought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Once you're finished painting all the red, clean out your brush very well because red will bleed through. We're going to move on to the skin tone, and you're going to paint around the face, the cheeks, where the nose is supposed to be, and right up to the brim of that hat. You might need to do a couple coats, so again, take your time until you don't see the wood anymore through, and then clean your brush out and get ready for the next step. Now we're going to paint the brim of the hat brown. I didn't rinse my brush out, so there's a little bit of that lighter color in it, which is okay. Don't worry about that. Just paint the whole area across the brim of the hat brown. The next step is painting the eyeballs black and the opening of the mouth black. Santa looks a little creepy for a bit, but he'll look better soon. Next, you're going to paint the center of the coat around the buttons black. Be sure to clean your brush out really good when you're done because black will stick in a brush and it can ruin your painting quick. Make sure your brush is clean, and now let's paint the buttons and the bell yellow. If it's still too light, go ahead and add a little bit of white to the yellow and then paint over those circles. You might need a couple coats. Now you have a good base down in most of your colors. Go ahead and give a second coat to anything that you think needs a little more. The red, the white, the face. Just make sure it looks kind of solid and not a lot of wood showing. Next, mix a little bit of the skin tone with a little bit of red and paint the lip. If it's too dark, add a little more of the skin tone. Then go around the cheeks to make those nice rosy Santa cheeks. Also, once you finish the red and cream tone, to blend in that red line so it's smooth, add a little more skin tone. Now we're gonna make a light gray color so we can outline all the lines that we did for the beard hair, around the face, the top of the beard, and the mustache. Then I blend those down. At this point, you're also gonna start adding dimension to your beard by doing just like wavy lines. I call them C's, backwards and forth, and just keep doing those all across the beard. If your red is dry, you can go over the line at the bottom so the bottom of the beard looks like the hairs are loose. If your beard starts looking a little too gray, let it dry and later go back with pure white over top and do the same brush strokes. Just continue on until you're happy with your beard. If you'd like to make the hairs look like they go over top of the coat and they're flowy and loose, just add a little more gray to it and get that line that's kind of solid where you painted the white in at first covered. Make sure your red is dry, otherwise you're gonna have a pink beard. Again, if you do get a pink beard, just let it dry and paint over it again with white, don't worry. You may want to pause the video right now and just continue working on your beard till you're happy with the look of it. Next, we're gonna add red with a tiny bit of brown and a very small amount of black to make the highlights in the hat, so it looks like it has folds and it's wavy. I'm gonna go into the left side of it and add like a triangle shape and let the ends of it be loose. Don't have to be a perfect triangle, like fling your brush out on the left side. Then go over a couple inches and do the same, just go straight up in like a small triangle space. And then do the same on the inside of the right side of the hat. And then right where it curves to go up to the bell on the left side. These are just going to be your dark shadow areas. And just blend them so they kind of look loose and not a strict triangle. Next, you're going to do the shadows in the coat. Run along the bottom of the beard, loose lines down so there's a little shadow there. Right along the side of the black on the coat in the center. And then just run straight lines here and there, wherever you think there might just be like a wrinkle in his coat. You could probably pause right now again and work on the highlights on both the hat and the coat. Now you're gonna add the lighter areas where the light hits the coat and shines. So you'll mix a little red and white, and you don't want it too light, so just, if it's too light, mix a little more red in it. Go up to the hat and all the areas that aren't dark, make them pop with that light color and it'll look like a three-dimensional look on the hat. And the same with the coat. Wherever you put that light, it's gonna make that look like it lifts up so it really looks like it's three-dimensional. Next, I cleaned my brush off and went back to the straight red and just blended the areas that look too harsh. So if it's too dark in one area or too bright, I would just add that little red and blend it around. So everything looks soft, I guess is the word I'm looking for, and not a harsh line. A lot of times when I'm painting, I practice the stroke I'm gonna do on a piece of paper. That way, I don't mess up on my board. So you're gonna make a V shape for the stitching on his hat, so practice that for a second. Now you're pretty much a stitching pro. Go mix your brown and white together so it's a little lighter than the brown you have, and go get those stitchings all across the top of that hat. And don't be afraid, if you mess up, paint it over brown again and start again. You got this. When I was finished, I also used that same light brown color to edge around the hat as well.
So I bought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Now to clean up the edge around the top of the hat, I used red and brown and just went along the curve just to clean up that edge on both sides. Now we're going to add the lines on the bell on his hat. Go 2 arcs down the center and then an X at the top and bottom, and then outline the whole entire thing with black to clean it up. I have one of those paint markers that are acrylic based. This step would be a lot easier as well, so you're not using a brush, so keep that in mind as well. Then you're gonna do the bow. It's just 2 loops. Thicken them up if you'd like, and then I just go out with a swirl and flip it. So go out, flip it, and put a little dot at the end if you'd like as well, just for an extra character. If you feel like getting fancy, once this is dry, you can add white highlights to it as well. You have the black on your brush, clean up around the buttons at the bottom, and you're gonna add 4 dots with the black on it. I add a little white to my brush with that black, and I started adding little hairs, so they're finer line hairs along the face line, and in the mustache, and in the top of the beard, just to give it a little extra character. On this step, we're gonna make the blue for the eyes. If you have one of those blue Posca pens that are acrylic paint markers, use that. It's so much easier if you're not good with your fine line strokes yet. And color in just a U shape for both the eyes, and then you're gonna do white below that. Here is where I use that paint marker. It is a lot easier if you're not good with your brush with fine lines yet. Don't be afraid to use them, and don't think that you're not a pro. If you do use them, you're actually smart. Use the Posca white marker and went around that blue line almost to the edge, so there's just a little bit of black because that's the white of Santa's eye, and you might have to go over that twice so it doesn't look gray. Now use either white or your white paint marker and do those bushy eyebrows, just straight little lines at an arc. Now we're gonna mix red, brown, and a little bit of the skin tone to make the lines for the nose. I go and make a C right at the base of the mustache there, and then I go up to the inside of the eye lines for the center of the nose. This is tricky, so take your time, and if you mess up, paint over it with that skin tone and try again. Take your time, and it's best to also make your paint kind of thin so it runs good. If it's too bright red, add a little more brown. If it's too light, add a little more of the other 2 darker colors. But you're gonna make the 2 nostrils on each side, and then I go over it with the cream skin tone to kind of blend that line so it's not so harsh. At this time, you can use that same color to add highlights along the hat line for the face and along the edge of the face around the cheeks and stuff, just to kind of close it in and give it a little bit of a shadow. And remember, at any time, if you don't like what you've done on a certain area, use that first color that you painted on. If it's skin tone, paint the whole thing over it and start that step again. Just do it till you're happy, and don't be afraid if you mess up. That's okay. You'll see me here using that same color to just keep on edging around the face, so it has that nice little shadow and his face kind of pops away from the beard. Continue to add the skin tone just to soften the lines and make it look so there's not drastic red and white lines. Next, you're going to get a script liner brush and make it really thin black. Practice on a piece of paper before you do this, but you're going to do the eyelashes on both sides. As soon as you feel like you got a good line, go ahead and do it on your Santa. And if you happen to mess up, dry it off, paint over with the skin tone, and then try again. With the same small brush, you're going to do the glasses now on Santa. Do an arc over the nose right above the nostrils. Make 2 lines slightly angled up. Go straight across about 2 inches. And then you're just going to do a U from corner to corner on both sides. You can make them a little thicker if you'd like. And then just run the line that goes behind his ears just about to where there's the crease above his cheeks. Now you're going to add 3 dots in each of his eyes, and then go to the glasses and just wiggle a line so it looks like the reflection of the glasses. Last thing you're going to do here is the snowflake. You can use a white marker with this as well, or just a paintbrush. Make 6 lines, spaced out evenly. Just do V shapes on the top, and then just make straight lines on each side. Voila, cute little snowflake. You can add 3 little dots into each of the spaces between the snowflakes if you'd like. It's up to you. Then you can use the paint marker or white paint and do the sides of each center of the coat white. A thin brush or marker and take red and do the X across the buttonhole so it looks like red thread holding on his buttons. You can use a stencil or a Cricut machine to write Merry Christmas, or you can hand do it. If you do a stencil, you can sponge your white on and then pull your stencil off, so you'll have your Merry Christmas at the top. And then I use Mod Podge and paint where I want glitter, and then sprinkle the glitter over, and you have cute little glitter balls. And you can also do it on the buttons if you'd like. It's up to you. But wherever you put that Mod Podge, the glitter is going to stay. And also be careful, if you have wet paint, the glitter will stick there. So just wait for this step till things are dry, or be very careful. If you'd like to clear coat it after this, you can. Use a UVA UVB outdoor water-based clear coat. And there you have a beautiful Santa sign. Thanks for painting with me. And if you like this, give me a thumbs up.